On a desolate, fog-laden highway in northern Maine, there lies a seemingly harmless rest stop known by locals as Station 17. Travelers passing through rarely give it a second glance. It's just a modest wooden structure with a flickering light, an old vending machine, and a single restroom. Yet, for decades, it has been the focal point of whispered tales among the few locals who know its secrets. Stories of people entering and never coming out. Stories of ghostly figures in the mirror. Stories that are more than just myths. Our story begins on a cold October night. Jacob, a cross-country trucker, was on his way through this stretch of highway when the relentless need for sleep finally overtook him. The cold seeped into his bones as he pulled into the lot beside Station 17. The eerie quiet was broken only by the hum of his truck's engine as he shut it off, leaving him in near silence. He saw the dim light above the restroom flickering in the distance, casting shadows on the peeling, faded wood of the station. Despite his growing sense of unease, Jacob trudged toward the restroom, hoping a quick wash of cold water might wake him up. Inside, a stale odor lingered, something that wasn't quite mildew but held an unsettling edge. The lights buzzed and flickered overhead, casting strange, unnatural shadows that seemed to sway in unnatural directions. Jacob splashed cold water on his face, watching his reflection waver in the cracked mirror. His face was haggard, eyes red-rimmed with fatigue, but something else caught his attention, a blur of movement in the reflection. He froze, breath hitched as he saw a figure standing behind him, just on the edge of his vision, almost hidden in the shadows. He whipped around, but the restroom was empty. Convinced it was his tired mind playing tricks, he let out a shaky laugh and went back to the sink. But when he looked up again, the figure was closer this time. It was a woman, her face pale and hollow, eyes dark and lifeless. Her head tilted slightly as if examining him, a faint smirk twisting her cracked lips. Jacob's heart pounded as he spun around once more, prepared to confront whatever was there, but again, nothing. Only the stale, oppressive silence and the weight of something unspoken pressing on him. This time he backed out of the restroom, keeping his eyes on the mirror, refusing to blink. But as he reached the door, he saw her move. She was smiling, that same chilling, knowing smile, watching him leave as if she had all the time in the world. He turned and stumbled out of the station, barely able to breathe, but as he moved to the parking lot, he noticed something even more chilling. His truck had vanished. Panic set in as he looked around the empty lot. The fog was thicker now, smothering any sense of direction. He could barely see a few feet ahead, but somehow in the distance he saw the faint outline of headlights flickering. They were dim, nearly swallowed by the fog, but unmistakably there. He ran toward them, stumbling in the darkness, shouting for help. But as he got closer, he saw that the lights weren't coming from a vehicle. They were just floating there like eyes watching him. The closer he got, the dimmer they became, until finally they disappeared altogether, leaving him stranded in pitch darkness. Jacob could feel the ground beneath him shifting, becoming soft, like mud dragging at his boots. He staggered back, but as he turned, he heard a soft, echoing laugh coming from behind him, from all directions at once. When the fog lifted the next morning, a ranger passing by Station 17 noticed something unusual. The truck was parked by the rest stop, engine cold and abandoned. The ranger entered the restroom, finding only a cracked mirror and an empty room. Jacob was never found, but every now and then, a tired traveler on that same stretch of highway will see the faint glow of headlights in the distance, or catch a glimpse of a figure in the mirror just out of reach. And on the stillest nights, if you're listening closely, you might just hear a faint laugh echoing in the cold fog, chilling, haunting, and somehow calling out,